Hello students, today we are going to start with the sixth chapter of class 6, that is changes around us. First we have an introduction about the lesson, that is what is change. So let us now try to define change. For a purpose of science. We can define it as an act by which a thing forms or becomes different than its previous self. So what is change, or how, when we can tell it has been changed? So when compared to the previous state and the present state, if anything is modified, if anything has been changed, so then we can tell that it has been changed. Correct? Either it may be change in shape, either it may be a change in color, either it may be a change in state, or either it may be different new substance has been formed. Okay, so anything has happened than the previous state. Understood? So when compared to previous state and the present state, if there is any modifications, then we can tell that it has been changed. Understood? So now let us now try and define change for a purpose of science. So purpose of science, we can tell that we can define it as an act by which a thing forms or becomes different than its previous self. For instance, when ice melts, it changes into water. Yes or no? When ice cube melts, it will convert into water. Therefore, it turns its form from solid to liquid. So from solid state to liquid state, it has been modified, so that we can tell that it is a change. Okay, so in changes we have some different types of changes, or some different changes we have. We will see what are the different changes. So first one is slow and fast change. So some changes can be very slow, like weathering of rocks. Correct. So weathering of rocks is a very slow process. But what is by fast change? Fast change is nothing but conversion of batter into pudding. Conversion of batter into pudding, or conversion of ice cubes into water. Conversion of water into ice cubes, or burning of crackers. So these are all the examples of fast changes. Okay, similarly we have periodic and non-periodic changes. So what do you mean by periodic and non-periodic changes? Periodic means the day and night. Okay, so the day and night will be a periodic change, whereas non-periodic change, in the sense, it may be a eruption, volcanic eruptions, it may be a landslides, or it may be a floods, it may be a drought. So these are the non-periodic changes. Okay, then we will see about reversible and irreversible changes. So what are reversible? Reversible means the change in which we can reverse the change. So if a change can be reversed, then it is reversible, and if a change which cannot be reversed is called as irreversible change. Then we have at last physical and chemical changes. So what do you mean by physical change and what do you mean by chemical change? Physical change is nothing but a change in which no new substance is formed, and only it will changes in only the physical properties. If a change happens only in the physical properties of an object, then it is called as physical change. Then what is chemical change? A chemical change is nothing but a change in which it will change in its chemical properties, or in a chemical change there is a formation of one or more new substance. Understood? So these are some of the changes what we are going to understand in this lesson. First, so we bring a change in a substance by doing one or more following methods. So how can we bring up a change? How can you bring up a change in an object? First one is slow change. These are the kinds of changes that will happen over a period of time slowly. So it will take time to change. It will take time to modify. For example, they have given here from baby to an adult person. From a baby to adult person, it cannot be one day change or 2 days change. It is an years together change. It will take years together to change. Okay. So this is nothing but a slow change. Then what do we mean for fast change? As the name suggests, these changes occur sooner. For instance, a batter turning into a pudding, it will take hardly a few minutes for liquid batter to turn into a pudding. Okay, so like preparing an idli from a batter, those are from batter, correct? Or cake. These are the type of changes which will be happening at a quicker rate, faster rate. So it is called as fast change. Next we'll be having a periodic change. What do you mean by periodic change? The change which repeat themselves are called periodic change. One more thing you need to add, the time which repeats themselves in a particular intervals. Particular intervals is also important. It is called as periodic change. So day and night, phases of the moon, beating of the heart, clock striking again an hour. So these are some of the examples of periodic change. Okay. So these will be continuously happening at a particular interval of time, correct? So they are called as periodic changes. So what do you mean by non-periodic changes? The changes which do not occur regular interval of time are called non-periodic change. For example, eruption of volcanoes, earthquakes, forest fires, etc. These are the examples of non-periodic changes. Okay. So there will be no time limit here. For example, for first hour, one volcano has occurred. For second hour, one more volcano should occur. No. So it is a non-periodic. We will not get to know at what time the eruption will be happening. Okay. So these type of changes are called as non-periodic changes. So next we will be having reversible and irreversible changes. Very important. So some changes can be reversed, whereas some changes we cannot reverse. So those changes which we can reverse are called reversible change, and those changes which we cannot reverse are called as irreversible changes. Okay, so they have given an example here. You can identify. So from juice into ice, ice into juice. Is it reversible? Yes, this is a reversible change. From chocolate, solid chocolate to a liquid chocolate, and liquid chocolate to a solid chocolate. Yes, we can do. So it is a reversible change. Egg to an omelette, omelette to an egg. Is it a reversible change? No, this is an irreversible change. Again here, a wood to a ash, ash to an wood. No, this is also a irreversible change. Here, a iron nail which is new one, and here it is rusted one. So again, from the rusted iron you can get new one. No. Okay. So this is also a irreversible change. From a candle, a new candle to a burning candle to a new candle. No, this is also a irreversible change. Okay. So we'll have a definition of reversible and irreversible changes. So what are reversible and irreversible changes? Speaking in terms of chemistry, a change can be explained on physical grounds. Changes are very random or uncertain phenomena. Changes can be for the good or worse depending on your view. So these changes can be for a good reason or a bad reason. That depends on your vision or depends on your impression on what you are measuring that. Okay. So some changes are for good reasons and some changes are for worse reason. Okay. So as we mentioned above, melting of ice, cooking of food are all the changes that happen around us. In some cases, we find that original substance can be recovered back. So no. So from here you can see here, it is a liquid juice. From the liquid juice you can make a solid ice. From a solid ice you can make a liquid juice. Yes. So this is a reversible change, and these are called as desirable change. Desirable change means which we want. Okay. So these are called as desirable change. So in some cases, we find that the original substance can be recovered back, while in some other changes, you cannot never go back to obtaining the original substance. So where you cannot get the original substance back? In chemical changes. For example, take an example of burning of paper. Previously, you'll be having a paper here. So when you burn the paper, after burning, can you get back the paper back? No, only you will get the ash. Ash you can get. So it is an irreversible change. Okay. Yes. So the change that can be reversed are the temporary conversions are reversible change. The reaction that are reversible reactions. In such kinds of reaction, one substance is modified into another form, but a new compound is not formed. Okay, here one compound is converted into another compound, that's all, but there is no new substance is formed here. Okay, the same substance will be changed in state or change in color or change in shape, that's all. But the same property it will maintain. Okay, see here. It is ice cube. Ice cube converted into water. Water, when you heat, it will become steam. Ice cube, when you heat the ice cube, it will become water. When you heat the water, it will become vapor. Again, when you vapor, when you cool, it will become water. Water, when you cool, it will become ice cube. Okay, so this is a reversible change. Example of a reversible change. So process such as physical changes, changing in state. So what a physical change I have told you? The physical change means the change in which it will change only in its physical property. Those changes which will change only in its physical property are called as physical change. What are physical properties? Physical properties are nothing but it may be a state, it may be a color, it may be a size. Okay, so these are nothing but some of the physical properties. If only the physical properties are going to change, then it is called as physical change. Here you can see melting. So what do you mean by melting? So when you boil or when you heat the ice cubes, it will melt. When ice cubes melt, it will form water. Ice cubes will be in solid form, and when it melts, it will become in liquid form. The solid will convert into liquid. Okay, so this is called as melting, change of solid to liquid by heating. Next you have freezing, changing of liquid to solid by cooling. It is a reverse process, yes or no? It's a reverse process. So when you take a water and cool it, or when you freeze it, it will become ice cubes. Okay, so this is nothing but freezing. Then what do you mean by evaporation? Evaporation is a type of vaporization that occurs on the surface of liquid as it changes into gas phase. So the liquid phase going to convert into gaseous phase. The water is going to convert into vapors. That is called as evaporation. See, change of liquid, you can see here, right? Change of liquid to gas by heating. Here the liquid is going to convert into gas on heating. So that is called as evaporation. Next, what do you mean by condensation? So condensation is a reverse process of evaporation. See there, the liquid is converted into gas on heating. Here ulta. So the gas is converting into liquid by cooling. Okay, so when you cool this condensed, when you cool this evaporated water or water steam, then it will become water. When you condense the water vapor will be converted into water. So condensation is a change of a physical state of matter from the gaseous phase into the liquid phase, and it is a reverse of vaporization, or it is a reverse of evaporation. Okay, so this is nothing but condensation. Next you have physical changes, change in shape. So physical change is also called as, if it is changes in shape, this is also called as physical change, correct? So matter can change shape, cutting, tearing, crumpling, grinding, bending. These are all examples of change in shape. If the object undergo only the change in shape, then it is called as physical change. When you mix or dissolve one thing into another, it is a physical change. So it may be, you can see the pictures there, cutting, crumpling, grinding, bending. These all will change only the shape, but the object will remain same. Okay, so that is called as physical change. So next we come into irreversible change. So irreversible change is called as chemical change. So as compared to reversible change, irreversible changes are permanent change. So one more added here. Reversible means temporary change. Irreversible means permanent change. Okay, as compared to reversible changes, irreversible changes are permanent changes. Reactants react to form an entirely new substance or new compound. Reactants react to form an entirely new compound and cannot be reversed. So heating, burning, mixing, powdering are the few processes of which causes irreversible change. Okay, see, you can see the pictures here. The baking of cake. So before baking, you will be having the cream separately, bread separately, correct? So after making a cake, you cannot separate it. Okay. Again here, rusting of metals. Rusting of metals also example of chemical change. Again, from egg to an omelette. After frying an egg, it will become omelette. So from an omelette, you will not get egg. Again here, say paper. When you burn the paper, you will get ash and smoke. From using ash and smoke, you can get the paper. No, this is not possible. Yes, here you can see. Just see the gravel and cement and sand. Gravel, cement and sand mix. After mixing sand, cement and water and gravel, you cannot get cement separately, gravel separately, water separately. Correct? So this is also another example of chemical change, irreversible change, and also a permanent change. Okay. So this completes your chapter changes around us. Hope everyone understood all the concepts. If you have any doubts, you can contact me. Thank you, students.